see your body, girl, it look like room. Body up and down, body don't need no two. When I do something so you won't need Gardino. Block out, block out.
Well, OBS will try to shut us down, but the truth is you can't stop the hype train here on the Belong Arena Clash. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Week 2 of the Rocket League portion of the Arena Clash. I'm, of course, the Eternal J. Joining me, as he always does every week, is Digital Bacon, inclusive with a hoodie and everything, actually.
It is freezing in here.
It is, actually.
Like, the AC is properly cranked up, and I saw a guy earlier in, like, a pea coat, weren't he? He was, like, all proper decked out, and it is just, like, you know, chilling in the arena in the back, and I'm just there, like, I'll put on the jacket just to keep somewhat warm because yeah, it's cold.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's October at the end of the day, so I think a lot of people are expecting, hopefully our contestants will not be as cold as we are in the studio today, because again, it's Week 2, a very early start for a lot of the teams and a lot of the arenas as well. So they want to try to see if they can get hit the ground running, if you will, especially with a couple of teams trying to see if they can catch up some of the points because of the buys from last week. In fact, I think we'll take a look at some of those points that we have available for you right now. Of course, for those of you that weren't keeping up with the first week, we've now split the grand scale of things into just 2 groups, and you can see how these groups have worked up here. You can see a couple of teams currently sitting at the 2-0 marker, in particular the Harriers and the Nighthawks at the moment, currently with 2 points to their name. Enigma's only playing 1 match last week, and that was of course due to the fact that they had a bye. Obviously it's 9 teams per group, so each team has to sort of miss out 1 match every week.
Yep, and there for me, Harriers Taggers, Coman himself is back. I think for this season, they could get a much better run. But let's have a little look at the second half of the bracket, the teams that aren't so shiny. The Saints, of course, there, 1 win, 1 loss. Armada got a bye last week as well, and we're going to be seeing them first up on the stream, so good for them. Smugglers, not a great start last week. And Leviathans, they've got to correct their wrongs in this first sort of match-up on stream.
Yeah, and I'm up there. Let me try again.
Let's try that again.
Armada and Leviathans actually will be our first match on the stream today, so we will be able to see who's going to get their first win here on this league table. We'll take a look at the second group, of course, that we have. The Kestrels coming out on top of 2-0, alongside the Centurions and the Vikings also winning out both of their match. Clyde Claymores are number 2 seed of this group, or of the tournament as a whole, actually, I guess you could say. Top seed of this group, obviously, are only getting to play 1 match last week, so I think that's a seeding thing right now that both of those teams actually managed to get their victories in. But again, they'll have 2 matches today, so they'll have a chance to catch up with the rest of the leaders.
Yeah, and Spartans, of course, we got to see them last
boys,
week.
Man.
Yeah, we're a little bit upset because we didn't get that A team. The Challenger team happened to move up, of course, to the Championship. They did fine. They got 1 for 1, so we'll see how they develop this week. Of course, looking at the second half of the table, though, Guardians, Invincible, Rams, and Hunters, it's not been such a pretty first week, so they need to put it behind them and come into week 2 strong.
Yeah, of course, I mean, that's kind of the way that the first week will end up going down. You're going to have some teams that will be up 2-0. You will be seeing some teams that, that will be down 0-2. Plenty of recovery room. Again, this week in particular is going to be that opportunity to try and make up for lost time, if you will. And plenty more weeks as well to come here for the Arena Clash. So let's jump into our first match of the day. Of course, it will be, as I mentioned, the Plymouth Armada versus the Lakeside Leviathans. I guess you can call them my B stream on the Leviathan side, because I'm sort of like, an East London, like Essex sort of like native, essentially. So like I'm split between 2 teams, but yes, this team, I'm afraid I can't really take too much stock in them at the moment, I think.
Yeah, like you picked the Spartans last season purely because you're a big 300 fan. So coming into this season, you're still split there.
It's not because I'm from Stratford or anything, no.
No, clearly not. They're Plymouth on the opposite side. For me, they're my favourite going into this matchup. They didn't have the most, I want to say, extravagant season last season, but they've come on back and they've improved a little bit, and they've got a new lad into the roster as well. So it should be an interesting one. The Leviathans, I don't know. You know, going 0-2, this is a team where I'm not going to take anything against them coming into this match. I'm just going to see how they play and learn about them on the spot, because we haven't had a chance to see them just yet.
No, I mean, I think this is also the first time we're seeing the Leviathan sort of arena as well in the Rocket League Arena Clash, because they didn't support a team last season.
Nope.
But this season, obviously, having their main man, Lord Taylor, going to be leading up that side, with Ginge on the Plymouth Armada side, leading up his side. That's an interesting little choice of name, I guess you could say. But maybe we'll get to see how Gingy really is if we get to see him at the LANA finals. But that is, of course, a story for another day. For now, as you say, you think the Plymouth Armada are going to be the team to favour at the moment?
Yeah, and for me, it's going to come in with CW. He should be the lab player on this roster, the highest ranked one there, and actually got a lot of captaincy. I expect them to be playing Ginge, Pepe, and CW for this lineup. On the opposite side, you're probably going to be seeing Lord Taylor and Dino. Mixed with either Repel or Grange, we're not too sure just yet, but you definitely know the, I want to say, the more favourite amongst the teams, where a lot of these guys have been turning up to the Blanc Arenas as friends, so like they'll go up as a duo. Let's take Plymouth for that one with Ginge and Pepe, and they'll just look for a third man whilst there, you know, find a new friend, essentially, a new compadre, and go into these tournaments, have a good bit of fun, and maybe come out with, you know, a prize or two, because they're looking to go the whole way if they can. If not, build up for next season, improve themselves, and of course, have good fun whilst doing it.
Yeah, that's what it's all about here in the Arena Clash. Your chance, your first step. Esports starts here. If you are so interested, of course, we'll probably brief you on the details how to sign up for next season at the end of the season. For now, though, we're about ready to get into the match. But a short couple of moments' time. Predictions for this one here. You did say the Plymouth Armada would be the favourites, but how much so do you think they would be the favourites by?
I'm thinking 3-1 for
3-1.
this one. Like, this, for me, is probably going to be a very interesting one, because Plymouth Armada, by the end of this, of course, could go 1-1. Who knows, after the second match today, they could go 2-1, which could be a brilliant turnaround for them after losing in their first game last week. But let's have a look at this. We're going to be hopping onto the pitch.
Oh, boy.
Oh, we told the guys in the back not to do this, but they've gone
Light
and done it
blue
anyway.
on white. This is going to be fun. It's Plymouth Armada, I believe, striking first out here to the sorry, that's the Lakeside Leviathans, excuse me, striking first out towards the blue side of the field. It's Ginge setting up CW now to try and take it out towards that corner and try to continue the offensive pressure they have on the Leviathan side. Double commit there from that corner, though. That might leave the gap a little bit open for the Armada counter-attack. Fortunately for them, it is a little bit off-center, so no real shots coming through here for the Plymouth side. CW holding the defense down from the corner, teeing it out to the midfield. 100 boost can get picked up by him, but he misses out the ball instead. Pepe will come forward, get it out to CW. He misses his out, so Pepe tries to recover this back into the mid-center, where Ginge can take a little bit of control, a little bit of a touch, but unable to get anything going once again in the blue side of the court.
Yeah, just going to see both these two teams feel each other out, and this is actually quite smart coming into it. CW! Oh! Just faking out his opponent there. It was a good little dribble downfield, which was not expected at all. You can see Repel coming in there, wanting to go for that jump, but CW knows how to play him. Like, CW, we know is already a Champ 3 player, so a big jump on Repel's plat 2. So Repel's learning a lot of how to adapt in this game, and who knows, maybe comes back next week as a Diamond 1 player in ranked, you know?
Maybe so, but a nice start again from the Leviathans. And again, it's CW, the guy that you pointed out, the main man to watch for the Leviathan side. Striking first and now being set up towards the center line as well. A light touch on that ball set up by Ginge, unfortunately, will not be enough. In this case, a backboard play with the demo coming through on towards Lord Taylor will open up the gap backline a little bit. He'll still respawn in time. Or we'll look at Ginge going out to that backboard, just cleared away by Lord Taylor. Just holding down control here, but the net's a little bit too far open for my liking at the moment. Plymouth Armada kind of walking a very fine line between defense and disaster. CW also doing the exact same thing. It is fortunately Pepe to come forward and get that 50-50 on Lord Taylor.
Yeah, it's quite close, don't get me wrong. And you were talking about that fine line with defense. I'm okay with that because they've got confidence with. You see CW there looking in, knock it out, closing it on in, so he's closing out the gap, taking them 50-50 to the corner. But the Leviathans, they need to result in a goal. They're putting on a lot of pressure, but nothing close to a finishing shot.
CW with control. Pepe can take that one off the sideboard. 24 points of boost, but a big miss on his part. Same thing can be said for CW, though, as Dino now takes control. Set up by Ginge over to the corner. Lord Taylor, the 50-50 in from one man over on his opposing side. Take it back towards that corner. Keep the control once again. The Plymouth side. Bounce out from that corner, and Dino again takes it out far to open space. Pretty open space as well that we left out with the Lakeside side. Lord Taylor comes forward again, 50-50 out by CW with easy control. Repel will try to take it away from their control, but you can see the quick responses coming through. Maybe we'll try to look for a way back in, but Lord Taylor holding that midfield control, just trying to dismantle it through physical contact. That back ball one more time for Pepe, but no real follow-ups coming through from his teammates.
Yeah, he talked about that earlier, Lord Taylor, on Ginge. That was really good. Near enough removing the man from play, dragging him off to the side, and then going seal boost at the same time. Clever play to be able to do that, but now you've got to be careful, as of course Plymouth are on the attack here. A little bit of a whiff, but CW there takes this into air to stall for time. That was a good follow-up as well from Ginge on net, trying to get the demo. Unfortunately there, Lord Taylor's going to get demoed. You're seeing a lot of strats come out from Plymouth Armada, and I bet you this is all down CW, just telling them players, this is what you do at a higher level, and these are the effective strats to near enough remove your opponents and make life easier for us to score and get the win, essentially.
Yeah, mid-game comms, that's what it's all about. We saw the MK Enigmas in the HyperX clash go down and do the exact same thing to get them the overall victory in that particular cup. So certainly a lot to be learning from the top teams here in the Arena Clash, but for now it's only a 1-0 lead for the Plymouth Armada. 60 seconds as well left on the clock to try and reciprocate. Bounce back comes through from the boys off towards the backboard here for Pepe. Follow up from Ginger is going to be too far wide, so the offensive not going 100% well. CW forced to rotate back as Dino's got a decent opportunity. It will be 50-50 now, but Lord Taylor here to recover. Big miss from him, and the same can be said for Pepe. Ginger's able to take it out of the midfield, but the 100 boosts will get stolen on the retreat as the Armada now continue to advance. It's Repel. Pepe back into the centre line. Big miss from Repel all the same. That demo will come through, opening up the back line a little bit. Ginge could not quite get towards that ball in time. Will still be able to contest, and CW will come forward on the rotation. Now wrap around off the back, put in towards Ginge. Nice play, but he takes it high. A couple of mechanical mistakes there from the Armada side as the Leviathans do get a breakaway, but it's quickly responded to by CW. Always in rotation, always knowing exactly where to be. With just a little over 10 seconds left on the clock, it's looking like they might be able to hold their own control. Just Ginge up, big miss again from Lord Taylor, follow up from Dino. Should be able to dismantle here by Pepe. Keeping that on the floor should be enough for the Armada side, and then they're clearing it out to open space. And it will be a game one for the Plymouth Armada.
Yeah, Armada doing good work there, and I'm just going to say now, 1-0 doesn't feel like what it should have been. Maybe a 2-0 sort of scoreline there, and it's all coming down to Armada had great control of that, apart from the very last sections where the Leviathans put everything into attack naturally, where they had to just get one goal and get it pretty quickly. Armada just had full control of that game, and again, it did stem from CW near enough directing the rest of the team. You could feel it, and when he was not confident in attack, just storing it up in the air. It was really impressive just how he could dictate the play.
A reactionary play as well from him to be able to not only need to recognise when to put it up in the air and when to keep it away from the opponent's hands. So, you know, CW certainly seems like the Yanker player around this particular side. And I'm actually kind of looking forward to what he'll be able to do going into game number 2. I think that it's a bit too carry for me, though. You know, he certainly felt confident in the offensive. I feel like his teammates probably missed a couple more shots than a couple more touches than they really would be used to at that stage. At that point, it's all about practice and mechanics for his teammates, you know?
Yeah, I want to see a lot more confidence come out from Pepe. We saw Ginge get involved and do quite well there. But Pepe, for me, was a little bit too quiet. Maybe just send Pepe up into attack. Just be there like, look, do what you want. We'll try and work around you. Get your own confidence and play how you want to play. On the opposite side for Leviathans, like, Lord Taylor was doing good dictating his team, but you could see Repel wasn't so comfortable with the plays, hence the dribble sort of fake that came on out, and Repel just did not know how to read that one, unfortunately. So for me, that comes down to Lord Taylor sort of doubling up with Repel and let Dino sort of take the role of just go in, demo them, and cause havoc. Make life easier for us too, and we can play upon that.
All about making life easier at this stage for the Armada side. For the Leviathans, though, they kind of struggled a lot when it came to the offensive play. You know, CW certainly was leading the charge up towards that other end of the field, and they kind of got stuck in their own half quite a lot. When they did break away, though, I could see a little bit of confidence coming out. Unfortunately, it just wasn't quite the centered-up shots that we wanted to see from a lot of the accuracy from a lot of the teams that we see here. Unfortunately, it feels like that's kind of like a bit of a consequence of having an open tournament in that respect. But for the Leviathans, there's a couple of things that do need to be changed up here. As well as we change up the colours, thank God. So we got a game at number 2 here, Lord Taylor.
Blue, it works.
Yeah, I like it. It's much better, but you can see quickly responded to on the part of the Plymouth Armada here as the Leviathans do get the first little bit of offensive play, but the first shot not coming through for them. It's CW trying to find it of his own right, dunking that ball directly in front of the box. Follow up again from Lele. Will be able to hold it in the blue half, but not for very long.
I just noticed as well, Lele stepping on in, replacing Pepe. Yeah. So they're using all 4 players for this. It's almost like, what was it, Nottingham last season where they were bringing in Delta Bacon. So this is a good idea, and I'm going to be interested to see how this changes up with that new man onto the pitch and how the team play is going to change. Because CW, we do expect to be that sort of solid anchor to the team, especially with capabilities like that. Good response from Lord Taylor to get that block.
I mean, as soon as you said, let's see how the complexion changes with Lele, and then he misses a pretty crucial ball that could have led to an open net as well if CW wasn't already on rotation. So thank goodness something from the Armada side is able to back up any big mistakes that could come out from them, and that will keep them in a solid stance right now as they try to go for this first goal. CW dribbling it up to the danger box. Block out from Lele is going to get missed out. Ginge will come forward, get it past 2, but now it's up to Demo here. CW takes it out to the side, into that corner. No boost available for him to carry much further forward than that, as Rappel takes it out towards the other side corner alongside Lord Taylor here. CW, now with the aerial dribble down onto the floor, looking for the midfield boost, and we'll be able to challenge a second player as a result. Now going in solo for this one, past Lord Taylor onto Rappel, but blocked out by the 50-50. It will bounce off the crossbar and just stay out of contention for the moment.
Only just. And Lele, you got to remember, coming on in here, Jay, is only a Plat 2 player, so expect a couple more of those whiffs, but more groundwork could work from him. So just expect that the mechanics probably aren't going to be there, but like we said, with CW dictating the play, all CW's got to do is ask Lele to pop the ball downfield, a bit like that.
Well, Dino with a breakaway to an open net and a bit of an overcommitment there from the Plymouth Armada side. CW couldn't get full control of that corner, and that demo coming in from Lord Taylor especially denied any real challenge. The only line of defensive they had towards that particular play, and that is going to be the first on the board for the Lakeside Leviathans.
Yeah, Lakeside adapting now, like we said earlier. Bringing those demos, it's quite a good idea here, where you've got a team that is, you know, they don't play regularly each other. CW, I'd imagine, outside of the Blanc Arenas probably wouldn't play with these other lads. They don't have a massive amount of chemistry, but that's nice little follow-up play coming out from Rappel. Great stuff from him, just to chase the ball downfield and have confidence on it.
Big miss, however, coming in from Ginge, though. I wouldn't say that it was completely unassisted on the part of Rappel. The half-time marker as we approach it, 7 seconds from 2-0 for the Leviathan. Certainly a reverse of roles coming into this second game at the moment. The Plymouth Armada side, I mean, you talk about how well their complexion could change with Lele back into the fold. Maybe it may have changed for the worse at this stage, but they are back on the offensive, you know, into the corner that will be played out. Rappel, CW dunk down, it will go off the post, so no defensive required, and Lele is not going to commit further forward in this one. Beaten out by Dino, and very slow indeed, as you say. You know, Dino given all the room to breathe in this one. We'll be able to keep the offensive going, but now the defensive from the Leviathans starting to look much better at the moment.
Yeah, a lot better, and it comes down to essentially Plymouth are only attacking one at a time, and they're double stacked off to the side. This isn't so pretty, I'm just going to say it right now. Good pop-up over Lele, though, we have to admit that.
Yeah, no, that was the kind of thing that sort of like set up the whole play for the Leviathans, you know, is the fact that Lele didn't go too aggressive. I think those the stars on his topper kind of like described what he was really doing at that moment. Like just a little bit dazed and confused by the Plymouth Armada side. May even be for the fourth goal coming out here. Another 50-50 from Rappel that tries to keep it towards that box. It is close to the line of the box, but not set up inside it. And CW passing out, expecting Lele to come forward, and Lele did not. So, again, a couple of crucial mistakes being put on this player. It is costing the Armada side by quite the amount, I want to say.
Why is Armada not going for that? Even as players, like you said, at level of... You look at Ginge, Diamond 3, Lele, Plat 2. with communication, they should know to chase it up into the middle. For me, that just seems like a lot of panic and a little bit of discombobulation between these two teams. Nice little drop down from Ginge and good follow-up from CW. But Lele in the background, still in net. Want to see them all move up together and have a lot of coordination.
He will be there to defend against the net shot coming through and back over to the midfield where the Lakeside Leviathans have full dominion, but 60 seconds for the Plymouth Armada to score 3 goals back. This could be the chance for Ginge, but he puts it right into the hands of Repel and couldn't get an inaccurate shot against them, so he'll be able to defend against. Now carry it forward towards the white half. Always went for the solo play, pushed out by CW, using Repel as the rebound, and now Ginge coming forward, but Dino puts it out by side. All of them, that's on target. No, it's just off to the left-hand side, and bouncing off that post instead will not be a major problem for the Plymouth Armada side. The main worry again is that time at 30 seconds now remaining for the white side of the court to score 3 goals. It's 10 seconds apiece, and CW tries to carry it forward, but is forced out to the right-hand side by the defensive of the Lakeside Leviathans. Ginge will come forward, try and recover it, but beaten out again by Lord Taylor. Ball up with no boost. Dino's going to come forward and again take it out to the right-hand side. Ginge should be able to gain control. CW will rotate in to try to see if he can do so. With 7 seconds left on the clock, though, I believe this is game over for Plymouth Armada as they look to go 1-1 here in the best of 5.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that it's been such a blinding game. Plymouth Armada not ready for it there. Lakeside Leviathans really turning up and getting disruptive. For me, like I said, it just comes down to communication. It was not there for that game for the Armada. They've got to go into game 3. I'd imagine they'll probably actually have a little roster swap up if they changed into game 2. They'll probably bring in another man and, like, you know, keep mixing around the roster. Lakeside Leviathans, though, just keep up. Like, they were putting on good pressure and their defensive had really started working, where essentially they were calling out who was going for the ball every single time on the defense.
Yeah, no, I mean, 100%, you know, Lakeside sort of like, I think that in the first game they were kind of limited by the fact that they weren't able to break out of their own half, but this time around, like the fact that they were always in that half and kind of suppressed by CW kind of played into their favour, because then they got the defensive together, it looked really, really confident, and then they were able to break away as all the players committed into one position or into the offensive play. So I think they looked pretty confident right there from the Leviathans, and the fact, especially back in the back line, you know, that was the most important factor for me, the back line defence being as confident as you really want at a level like this. So I'm liking it. I'm liking it from the Leviathans. You know, I had my doubts in game 1 and game 2, though this one could be a little bit more closer than we expect, Laken.
This game 3 for me is probably going to be the decider, where essentially it comes down, can Armada then come back, be able to put a real statement down, or if Leviathans get another 3-0 or a 3-1, Leviathans are going to take the entire series. You know, it really comes down to Armada having to adapt. Are they going to take Lele out and go back to Pepe, you know, try and play it safe like they did in game 1? Or are they going to maybe change that out, maybe take Ginge out, for example, and bring in Pepe? Who knows?
We're about to find out specifically how they're going to play this one out as we're about to get into game number 3.
There it is.
And it
Armstead
seems,
as well.
Yeah, CW, Ginge. And who is our third? It's
Pepe.
back to Pepe. Okay, so they're going to keep the original lineup coming through, and
Strongest
Pepe.
lineup for them. You can't blame this. And straight off the gate, you can see a little bit more aggression come out and a quicker rotation coming out in the back line from Pepe. Good follow-up from CW, but yeah, instantly forming up better.
Yeah, you can see Pepe with the first strike on the board, in particular for the Plymouth Armada side. So, you know, that's already a big sort of confidence boost for the boys over there.
But the strange thing there, though, is, Jay, there was only one player that changed up, and the whole team were just not confident. That, though, that was a confident play from the wall from Dino.
Yeah, nicely done out here. 2 players committing to this one. Ginge and Pepe not communicating. CW trying his best to recover and put it out to the side, but in the end it was too late. And the first is going to be scored by Lakeside Leviathans. Once again this time around, Plymouth Armada, you know, they had a very confident kickoff and a very confident start, but unfortunately not translating it into a goal. Pepe might be able to set something off of the backboard here. Big miss coming out from Dino, and fortunately the touch-in from the next player is not confident of its own right. CW trying to control in the midfield. Should be challenged by 1. Pepe will commit on this one. Dino should be able to beat out 1, leaving it all to Ginge to boom it back downfield. That's on target, and there goes past Lord Taylor. Not ready for the line his opponent was about to take, and the Armada side will equalise.
Yeah, you called it. Boom it downfield. It's not a massive boom like you normally see, but still, the sight to be able to see route to net is open, just got to snipe it, get on target, and again, a lot harder than it looks. It's just purely get that on target and right into that bottom right corner as well. good accuracy coming out there.
Controlling from Dino, backing over to the box. Should be able to keep the pressure going for a moment, but again, there's quick clears coming out from the Armada side. In fact, the shot that will come through, and CW saves it. What are you doing, man? Don't steal the goal. Just let it go in. You don't have to be the star. Just get the lead for the Armada side. Dino has to hold this down. CW does pop it back in once again. Demo's coming through, and that one is certainly on target. CW does get the credit that he wanted for it so bad. 2-1 for the Armada.
Good little follow-up there from CW as well. And the demo from Pepe, I'm not 100% sure if vital, but the support that he is giving CW, you can see with this lineup of the trio, Pepe's job is just to hand the ball to CW and support him, make sure that he can roll. If you've got a star player, your strongest one on the roster, it's not a bad idea to do that and essentially make their plays as strong as possible and then use Ginge for opportunities like that to pop the ball up in the air. Pepe doing a good job.
Oh, CW!
Good read on the block.
Write that one down, mate, because that was a stellar
Lost
ball.
my pen.
You've lost your pen?
I found it.
You found it. There we go.
It was on the floor.
Note that goal in and take a note of the timestamp, because that is most certainly one
I've got no idea
to
of
be
the
watched.
timestamp, but-
It's all right. Just write it down in the notebook. The 3-1 goal from CW, because that was exceptionally well played. Ball in for CW off that backboard as well, looking for another goal. He's going to take it so close. Is that on? It's a little bit high in this case, so not to be. Pepe off the corner board. Bounce pass one, teed away by him, actually. Follow up again from the Leviathan's side. It's teed off by Ginge.
Repel's
Repel
doing
goes
good
up
work
high.
here.
This one is going off the backboard. It's set up for Lord Taylor, but he's a little bit late to the party. He doesn't matter
Nice.
because Dino Pereira will be able to follow through with a third man play, get the second on the board for Leviathan.
Repel is really, really stepping up to that. That is an initial setup play. Is really, really quite tasty. Essentially taking it off from the sidewall, going all the way to the back wall with it, and then, don't get me wrong, it was a loose setup, like loose defense, sorry, where Armada really should have got that out, but the dedication and Dino to follow up on it, just solid.
CW trying to go for a very stylistic play out there. Unfortunately, it's not going to work out for him. Ginge will still be able to control here in the corner. No boost remaining for him. Pepe with 23 though, with control in. Second challenge not going to go well. Repel goes in, taken again by CW in the midfield control. And a couple of good challenges coming in from Lakeside Leviathans, trying to slow down his pace a little bit. Big double commits coming out from them though. It might cost them a little bit more than they really hope to chew off of here. Pepe off the backboard, CW. Oh, redirecting and trying to go in with a pinch
Can't do
play.
it from that angle.
It's a
He
bit
was
of a
trying
hard
to get
one.
the bounce in near enough, like close it on in and sandwich it with that back wall, but no. In Rocket League, the physics is just like too strong. It bounces out too aggressively. But that was just pressure upon pressure. One man in defense is not enough to hold off against the free pushing forward.
And Lord Taylor there with that great 50-50. Dino to follow through. Down from the centre line, straight in at evens all the same. And just like that, the Armada lead has been equalised against by the Lakeside Leviathans. Dino and CW will contest on this kickoff, and Lord Taylor again will try to see if he can find a way to work inland here. Pass back in. Dino takes it up high over to the backboard in the corner is where the ball will be played overall. Can steal that 100 points of boost. Actually, no, it's CW that takes it away. Down to the centre, this could still be dangerous, but no player there from the Leviathans to punish it. A minute and 30, and Armada hold a lot of them ball control for this phase of the matchup. Challenges coming through, and Ginge is able to adjust appropriately, but not able to follow suit with the momentum, and Repel could very easily turn it back over to the white half as a result.
This is an interesting one as well, because I've noticed coming out from Leviathans now, they're focusing more on these ground plays. Of course, if it gets up in the air, they've got to go for it. But they're actively choosing, as they move down pitch anyway, to keep the ball to ground. It's got to be because they're just more comfortable with that, because they know the Armada are a little bit quicker and they're more comfortable up in the air.
Oh, what a sequence set up there from CW to Pepe, but Pepe is challenged by the Leviathan's backline and unable to get the shot in. Pass up from Ginge to CW this time should be taken away by Lord Taylor.
Solid save to put that down to the corner as well. Really closes out a lot of angles on that.
And Repel tries to progress back over to his back line. Big misses coming through, but Lord Taylor's got it on lock. CW bouncing out to the corner, gives no choice on that one. Pepe, decent strike to the left-hand side, and it's not going to be on target itself. So the defensive able to hold for the Leviathans. The CW rotates. Ginge will come forward, get it back over to that blue half, try and follow it around the tower, pick up 100 boost here and try and maintain control. Dribble play in towards the box, perhaps. Either way, it'll be teed off by 2 from the Armada side, and CWB left back in the defense one more time. Boom back downfield, and no one's going to contest this one. It will go very close. Good 50-50 from the man as well. It's that 100 boost as well from the backline, trying to starve it a little bit for the Vipers, but they'll still find the breakaway, and Pepe will be able to get the challenge in and get the save out. 3 seconds on the clock. The ball goes close towards the blue net. Oh, no! 4 goals in for Plymouth Armada, 1 second on the clock, and he may have just clutched it for his team one more time.
And that could be, like I said before, the goal that wins everything for them. Morale has definitely got a swing in their favour with that, because 1 second, this ball is not allowed to touch ground. There it goes. Armada now 2-1 up in this series.
That was clutch from CW, and you mentioned him to be the player to highlight before we got into the series. I think he's proven exactly why. He has been.
I know my things.
Yeah, he knows. He knows. Like, this guy's brain is so big. Like it's you barely have any space to fit anything else left in that head. But
And here I was thinking it was just all hot air.
well, I mean, apparently we're wrong. I mean, I didn't know what to expect coming into this one, but you knew exactly what to expect. Seeing CW go out as the main man, 2 incredible shots in that last game alone, and now match point for the Armada, and CW being such the anchor player, and again, the leader, the director of the whole line of form for this team.
Yeah, and it just shows. Going into the next match is harsh. Lele, if you're listening on in, sorry, buddy, but you're not allowed on the pitch for Armada for this next one, just because how close it is. 1 goal differentials in game 1 and 3. Armada only just takes the win. And really, that's with their strongest lineup. So if they want to take the series, they've got to go and just... And we just had a word in background as well. The server's gone down for maintenance. Happens. It'll just get remade.
Servers.
It's fine. But yeah, if they want to win this, Armada have to go with the 3 strongest men, CW, Pepe, and Ginge, because... Lakeside Leviathans, they're really starting to ramp up, and as the games go on, they're getting stronger.
Oh, absolutely. They certainly are looking like a very confident little side there on the Armada side as well. Both sides sort of really sort of adapting around each other and really enjoying what they're doing to try and hold their own individual sort of strengths. The Leviathans being in the back line, still looking pretty confident as well. But as well as that, Lord Taylor starting to step up on the offensive. You see when they break away, he's most oftentimes the guy who's finding those small lines that you can just push the ball forward and just get it past that defensive.
His aggression with 50-50s as well is really good, but... You're talking about Lord Taylor, for me, I said it earlier, Repel. As the weakest player on that pitch, he has stepped up massively, worlds different from that game 1. And essentially using, I want to say, good options where his only goal is to essentially just not hit at his opponents. It works strangely. Using the ball, using that backboard, he is a massive asset to his teammates, and his goal is not to get a goal. It's just to be there and enable the other 2 players on the pitch to do their job, because he knows they're stronger than him. That could be a confidence issue down the line, but here it just works because essentially he's just there setting them on up. He's a playmaker.
But that's a perfectly acceptable role in Rocket League, though. If you're the midfielder, sort of receiving the passing from the defensive to get it back up to the offensive line, if you're constantly on rotation to be the supportive element, maybe if your defender whiffs or your defender doesn't get a confident clear out, then you can follow through and try and break away in that respect. So for Repel, he's playing this to a pretty decent position as well. If
the way I think he should.
Exactly.
Is great.
Absolutely. If you haven't got the confidence or the skill to take the initial challenge, then just wait back, think about your stance, and then eventually play it how you can play it. So Repel's certainly proven himself in that respect. He's not the flashy man, but certainly an important element of the side. I think a lot of people,
he's shown a lot of maturity and patience, which you don't see normally at those lower ranks. You see a lot of just jumping at the ball. Instead, after that first fake earlier, he just went, "No, we're not." Just jumping out, I'm going to wait for them to come to me and just expect it. So going on into game 4 right now, Jay. This is going to be massive, and of course it's on Neo Tokyo. I love this map so much.
It's so beautiful. It's so pretty. It makes me want to go.
Color schemes really work here.
It just makes me want to go to actual Tokyo, I think, Bacon. So maybe we'll plan a trip at one point, but I digress. Belong, pay raise, please. 20 seconds in, and so far it has been Armada with the majority of the control here in game 4. Pepe with that first strike. It is Lord Taylor here to defend. Ginge off the backboard. as Dino takes the breakaway back over, trying to get it over to the right hand side, the right side of the field. CW challenged by Repel this time, and this time he is able to again think about his position, not going for that initial touch, but getting a lot more out of it as a result. Breakaway all the way to the other end backboard, and Plymouth Armada forced to get on the rotation before eventually finding a rotation and a transition, but not going to happen onto the target. Lord Taylor is there to block.
Yeah, CW was just unlucky he didn't have boost. He had to use it all in that play, but the chase upfield, the idea was fantastic. If they can pull off a little bit more of that, they'll get the win.
CW now, no boost left, 100 taken away from him. Ginge, 100 steals it away from Lord Taylor. That should be enough to hold the midfield control for Armada, and indeed the challenge is going well for CW. He runs out of boost. Pepe forced to come forward. Sideboard bounce now into the centre line. Lord Taylor missing it. Again, leaves it open for Ginge. And he beats out the 50-50. Second touch could come through. Leaves it open for likes of Pepe, who tries to control of his own right, but not positioned appropriately. CW will try work off this corner. Again, it will be a decent challenge from Tino. And that should be enough for Leviathans. I say that, though, and CW still lurking inside that box, blocking every single clear attempt from the Leviathan side.
Yeah, in those cases, CW needs to near enough to shout down the mic, or even, like, you know, right next to him at Pepe and just say, half rotate on that, I'm putting it down. This is a nice little follow-up from Pepe, though. Just a little bit wide, though.
Pepe will be forced to rotate back again. Ginge and Co hold the midfield. Oh, big miss from Lord Taylor, and Ginge is allowed to turtle his way into the first for the Plymouth Armada side. This 150-50 is all that needs to go well, and really, Lord Taylor should have saved that, I want to say.
Like I said earlier, the Leviathans aren't as strong up in the air, Jay. So naturally, those little pop shots are a great idea. Try and keep it near enough, bim-bamming downfield, and then hit off that backboard where the Leviathans are just uncomfortable. You can even see Dino there so slow to get up in the air, and it shows because the Leviathans keeping it to the ground, like I said earlier. So you can see two teams that are trying to counter-strat each other, and there's a lot of strategy and brains going into this.
That would have been an insane team play, and again, Repel with the dribble players up, trying to get aggressive, and in the end trying to support his teammates, but unfortunately, all that aggression will hurt the Leviathans more than it helps. 2-0 at 2:22, Plymouth Armada holding a very good stance right now on their match point.
Yeah, 2-0. Oh, look at all those twos. I like it when things line up. We quite often get the 420s and the 222s. It's incredible. It's just weird patterns.
I don't know, man. It's a bit weird. It's been a bit of a trend lately in Rocket League. I don't know why. Everyone seems to get their early and mid-portion matchups like really together at some points on the offensive. Right now it's working for Plymouth Armada. Again, 2-0 at this stage. A lot of time for them to waste on the Leviathans part of things. I mean, I've still got that 2-goal cushion that we often talk about, and then Matt to make it a 3-goal cushion right here. No. Pepe a bit too high. Ginge will try come forward, dribble it past one, got it past the second, no, not quite.
Pepe's well lined up in the back as well to be able to just be there for that clearance.
And Dino in the back lines here, coming forward against the Plymouth Armada side. The ball in for Repel, 100 points of boost picked up, leaves it up to the ceiling. And Pepe with a miss. Ginge also coming forward, and Dino a bounce off the corner ball. That was perfectly set up for the likes of... No! For the likes of Repel to come forward and go for the shot, but in the end, he misses out entirely. Couldn't get to the ball in time. I think he ran out of boost halfway there, so boost management might be something that they want to focus on over on the Leviathan side. Again, it will cost them their best chance to get one of the equalising goals. A minute and 15 still left to score two. Armada in full control at this stage. I say that! Oh, and Ginge comes up with a clutch save, but no one else is left in the Armada backline. Leviathans finally score their first.
Good run downfield from Taylor. You could see as well. Repel just trying to go across the net, maybe get a bump in, didn't work, but the follow-up from Dino to secure. Great work. 1 minute 10 essentially left in this game, Jay, and a potential opportunity to get one goal, I reckon, still in this. Send us to overtime and then potentially go to that game 5.
60 seconds, Ginge and CW passing back, going for the zero angle, but it was going to bounce out of the box in the end. Now it's Lord Taylor here with his own breakaway. Pepe will be able to disrupt that nice pinch. It's not going to go on target. We'll go to the back ball, though. Someone's got to get the defense in. Unfortunately, Dino will be able to do so. It's Lord Taylor now off that sideboard. 80 points to boost to carry this one forward. I'm going to go for a second flip back here. Backboard plays into Dino's position. We'll take it out to the corner one more time. No 100 boost pad to be stolen away from the Armada defense as Ginger's able to find a clear out in the end. Follow through with a second touch again, trying to play keepaways from the Leviathan's side as the ball gets played out towards that corner. Pepe going to get beaten out. Lord Taylor not going to be able to beat out CW though. He's still going to in against him and Dino, and now with a dribble up of his own. Not a lot of boost, but he's controlling it so well, using as much as he possibly can, and Ginger will continue to keep it away from the Leviathans. No breakaway at 6 seconds left on the clock. Pepe here now. Repel's got to find a way out, but it's going to be disrupted again by Ginge. Balls up high. CW takes it low. It's kept up by Dino, and CW just takes it away from all hands here on the Leviathan side. Ball being kept up. Pepe's going to leave it, and Armada will take the 3-1 victory as you predicted as well. So well played from several of those players there on that Armada side.
I'm not going to be able to keep these predictions going for the rest of
No,
the day.
you won't. No, you won't.
That was well played by me, I'm going to say. It's just a little bit of research. Come on, guys. Easy to do. But for me, that all comes down to Armada. Fantastic to them bringing Lele. Earlier on, near enough give them the experience like we said last season with the Nottingham Arrows. Essentially, there can be 1 week where you can't play as a whole unit, so use that sub, try and get them a bit of experience. If you've taken that first game, it's not a bad idea to bring them on into the second, essentially, where you've already got a little bit of a handicap, you've got that safety net, use it for that purpose. And then just after that, they did it by the book. Only just being able to squeak out the win in Game 3, and then Game 4 was a lot more confident from them. But this Plymouth Armada team now won all in their group. I'm excited to see where they're going. Like, looking at them, they've got the potential to maybe be able to squeak out that 4th spot in the group stage and then make it on into the playoffs.
Yeah, especially if they play like that. You know, again, I was really impressed with CW and what he was able to do. Obviously, they've got Pepe in, who's also been, like, I think, a much more, a bit of like a...
He got better as the games went on.
He's a sleeper element, I want to say, for the Armada side. And certainly it's enough for Armada to claim their first victory here in their group. We're going to be moving on to our second match after this very short break. It is the Norfolk Nighthawks versus the Bristol Smugglers after this short break. Don't go anywhere. We've got more Belong Arena Clash action after this.
I'm a curious man with some curious genes. I get that from my dad. I'm not far from the tree. I flow like I'm a butterfly, sting like a beamer. I ain't features. Got my running around with my head in the clouds, feeling lost and then found. When they woke up and frowned, tell myself I'm the man. I was right to be left. Now I'm back to myself. Who am I to keep on holding you from everything?
Welcome back to the Belong Arena Clash, where we're about to get into our second series of the day. And I lied! Unfortunately, we won't be seeing the Norfolk Nighthawks versus the Bristol Smugglers up next. That one will be our third match of the day. A couple of small little changes about. So our actual third match will be our second match, essentially. And our second match will be our third match, Bacon. Is that going to sound confusing to you?
No, let's just get straight on in it, because we already know what that match is going to be. So the second one of today is going to be MK Enigmas versus the Teesside Steelers. And let's just get on into it. Like, let's bring up the graphic, all that sort of jazz, because MK Enigmas are coming in hot after this weekend.
Yes, of course. We mentioned the HyperX Community Cup, and that was a hell of a
Sorry,
tournament.
the HyperX Turbo Clash.
Turbo Clash, is that what it was called?
Yes.
See, I didn't actually
You
know the
weren't
official
working
name.
it, so
I wasn't
something
working on
like-
that one.
yeah.
No, I was on my feet all weekend for longer than you, essentially.
Yeah.
But that was where the MK Enigmas were drawn into. They were also there with the Clyde Claymores, and actually beat the Clyde Claymores in the grand finals and two best of seven reverse, two best of seven, not reverse sweeps, but bracket reset matches. So they've already had their glory of another championship, essentially. My boys as well. If you're watching that VOD, if you're watching that broadcast, if you go back and watch
the
that
Upper Winners
VOD.
final was so good.
Oh
Definitely
yeah,
go back.
mate. Go watch those Upper Winners finals, and you'll see exactly why. They're up against the Teesside Steelers in this one. We've got Fingers Ferguson. That is going to be very
The
difficult to say.
best name ever.
Yeah. C1Z and Light Leaves here. Unfortunately,
What did you say? C1Z?
is it
Kwanzi.
Kwanzi, is that?
Kwanzi.
Look,
Jake.
right, I'm dyslexic. Okay. how? Look, if you spell
I
a
do
name
like
in
the idea of C1Z though. Like you just look in, it's a onesie.
C1, he's a C1. There you go. That's why.
Oh no, I was thinking like onesie is in like the pajamas.
Yeah, he's in a champ onesie.
Yeah.
There you go. C1.
Like a
Are we gonna
purple onesie,
are we
like
gonna
with
go with
the-
C1Z on this one?
That's it.
And then
I
their
feel
teammate
bad.
in
It's Kwanzi. We know
Right.
players have a go at you when you don't say their name right. I do like C1Z.
we'll go right. We'll humour him. Go Kwanzi on this one. And Light Leaves, of course, for the Teesside Steelers. A new lineup, I think, from last season.
Yeah, Grand Prix. Now you're asking me because we didn't get to see them last season. Because I think they were one of those games which we were meant to see and just did not happen, unfortunately, due to scheduling issues. But again, looking at the Enigmas, Evade, Cynical, and Triss are the most likely setup for this team. Booth could be stepping in, but we doubt that because Evade, Cynical, and Triss. Why mess with that roster? It's so strong.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Aveda has certainly think that has impressed me. It was my first real time seeing him on LAN last weekend. I did think it was a little bit inconsistent at times, especially in the Upper Winners Finals. But if the results from the Grand Finals were anything to speak of that particular matchup, then I really want to see what Aveda can do when he's looking at peak form. And this time he'll be a bit more comfortable, be playing from his local arena, he'll be playing with, with his teammates left and right of him. I also love the fact that these guys always communicate. Every time there is, especially from where I was sitting there, right there, right. Whenever they conceded a goal, whenever they scored a goal, they always recapped it saying, this is what we could do better, this is what we need to try and make happen. And in those 60 seconds, they always take 60 seconds in between each game to say, this is what we need to sort. And in particular, Cynical. I absolutely love Cynical and how he can take charge and just say, this is what we need to do, this is how we need to do it.
Yeah, like Cynical for me is one of those players that is playing on a high level internationally, across the whole of Europe. And he has got the strive alongside Evade to get to that level. Triss, for me, is quite comfortable. He's focusing on uni, it seems, at the moment. His college to get into uni. But again, these are all lads that have been at that high GC level for ages, and they want to near enough excel. They want to basically be the back-to-back champions here in the Blanc Arena Clash. And they're making a good blooming statement for it. On the opposite side, the T-side Steelers, they've got a hard challenge here. Essentially, they're going up against the top seed of the entire tournament.
Yeah, pretty much.
But they do look good to come out of their group, of course. In a very favourable seed, I'd imagine they'll come out third in group stage, which is very solid, of course. But here today, their aim for me has got to be at least to take one game.
Yeah, I think any team that really goes up against MK Enigmas in this one is probably going to have a hard time just because of the fact of who they really are, and of course the fact that they are essentially it's the core of the team that won last season. They 2 out of 3 players from that last one.
Yep.
And they just look so solid. They just look so good. I'm in love with what MK Enigmas have been doing over the course of their last couple of runs. Obviously they haven't been able to play out we haven't been able to play out on all of the matches that they were able to play out last week. Obviously, with only one game going, with only one series going up, and now they've got 2 series this week. So this is where I think we should really see the MK Enigma start to take off. Is the fact that they'll be able to take this next, from my prediction, take this next series. I think they've already taken 1 series as well so far today.
I haven't actually checked that. Let me get my phone.
Well, why don't you check that? I'll present my theories. That the point is that they'll be able to take this series. Of course, they've already taken a series right now, and then they'll be able to move up to the top end. Will they be up 3-0 essentially? Which is where I think is where they should sit. Again, any team that goes up against MK Enigmas, you are the underdogs by default, just because they are the MK Enigmas.
Yeah, everything expected to be a 3-0 for them, which is just basically put a massive target on their backs. And everyone's gunning out to take games, even wins off them, but it's easier said than done. And right now, again, looking at this, I definitely think Steelers can take a game. Anything more than that is just gravy.
Yeah, I think I can agree with that one. A game is it's very much the par, I want to say. Well, not necessarily the par, but certainly the target, I want to say.
Yes.
If T-side Steelers don't take a game above the MK Enigmas, I think that's probably fine. Just because, again, they're the MK Enigmas, right? I can't stress that enough. They're just that good. They're just that good. And again, they are our favourites at the moment. We're saying that those are the guys that probably will be the team that we see at the finals again. And I don't see any reason why anyone can really contest that in a massive sort of level of form,
Yeah, so I'm just quickly going through this. The T-side Steelers have lost the game, and it is to the Kingston Harriers, who, like we said, Coman himself. So that, for me, the Harriers are the second favourite in this group. So understandable. And the Enigmas have already played twice, taken down the Cardiff Saints and the Portsmouth Pirates. So they're looking pretty good. Like, for the Enigmas, their goal is to come out with the perfect group, essentially.
So it's basically along the lines of what I was saying earlier. They've already won 1 game today. This is their second chance to go undefeated.
Yeah, that's it. So
again, up 3-0.
Well, the Enigmas should go 8-0 this season. It's like there's no doubt about it, because on the opposite side, you can bet the The Clyde Claymores are looking to do the same. That's for me is the brilliant aspect of this season. We've got
Yeah.
one hot rivalry between.
I mean, in theory,
those two
in
teams.
theory, the seeding should set themselves up to the point where the Clyde Claymores and the MK Enigma should end up on the opposite ends of the bracket because they're both in opposite groups. If they come out the first seed of those groups, then in theory they should be the first seeds and the top two teams going into the finals. So to me, that makes the most amount of sense. And again, it could be a
Ooh.
rematch as well.
One thing I've just seen as well, York have already done for the day. They're currently sitting at 4-0. So York, who we did get to see this gone weekend at EGX, who were the third place team in the HyperX Turbo Clash, are currently sitting at 4-0, taking down Preston Invincibles. They've taken down Humber Hunters, the Bradford Rams.
Yes, that very famous Balonarina.
Let's just get into this game. Like,
Alright, okay.
we've
We're
held
done
off.
stalling. It looks like we're ready to run into this one with the Lakeside. Wow, okay, sorry, those are the wrong team names. Okay, MK Enigmas in the green half, and it will be the T-side Sealers in the orange. A couple of familiar colours out this one, but see that they have the control on light
There
leaves
we
part of
go.
things. There we go. Much better Steelers.
Thank you, Ben.
Love you very much. Evade now with control. He flicks it past two defenders. Follow up from Triss as well. Should bounce on the backboard. Big miss from Lightleafs. And Triss can try and set up towards the centre. Will be taken out towards that corner. It's Evade back on target. And Finger has got to go in for the defense here. Seneca will also wrap it back around. Should be able to get a hold of his own right back up high. Past the backboard. Potentially no. Lightleafs there with the defense. And Evade will come forward. Flick back to the centre line. Allow Triss a chance to strike. He misses entirely. That's a bit uncharacteristic, I want to say.
It really is, and you can see the lads from MK Enigmas are trying up a brand new strat right here with these slow, lofty setups above net. Like, this is a fairly safe strat as well, because you notice they can just keep a man back at all times. But we'll see how it just develops. They go wide of net. This was the problem actually on the weekend, on that day one of the Turbo Clash, Jay. You know, sitting behind them, accuracy was evading them a little bit. Pardon the pun on that one. They've got to pick up on that. They definitely did on day two, but in day one, whiffs like this,
yeah.
we did see.
That is looking kind of concerning for the Enigmas. This is very, very scrappy coming out from that green half of the pitch. And Lightleafs will be able to try and break away and try and follow through all the same. Cynical wrapping back over to his half. Triss there with a decent 50-50 on the next challenger. T-side Steelers continue to try and aggress, but they will get forced back. There's no boost left alive for the orange side. MK Enigmas commit two players forward. It's got to be Triss that comes out with that save. Big save from Lightleafs as well, because that was on target. That would have gone just beneath the crossbar. As Triss continues the pressure, again the backboard into the box, trying to push out the last player on that back line. As the MK Enigmas hold the midfield control. So far, no goals being scored, but I think we've been a lot closer on the T-side Steelers than many might think. MK Enigmas again forced back on the rotation, and Steelers try the breakaway.
Good follow-up from Quanzi there.
Ooh.
Oh, lovely stuff. Like, we were talking about this before. For me, Quanzi is the one to watch on the Steelers side. I've seen him before on the university circuit, and for me, he is the lad that has really got to lead by example, and he's done exactly that for the Steelers' first goal.
Lovely stuff there. First on the board. Uncharacteristic again. A couple of big mistakes coming out from the Enigmas boys. They're going to try and boom back down over towards the orange half. Double commit there from Finger and Co. Nevada going to try and receive this pass in. Backboard plays. Triss going to get forced back of his own right. Backboard of his own once again. And Lightly's beating out Evade all the same. They're playing so well against them. 60 points of boost for Cynical. Just trying to use a lot of that to recover his position. But he will be able to get the clear out towards Triss once again. 100 boost picked up in the midfield. Two players to contend with. Gets it past the first. 50-50 on the second. Will push it out back far enough. Ball in over at the midfield. Goes back up once again. Counzy. Evade, good shots, and actually Lightleafs doesn't defend that. I thought he was going to hold that one, but apparently not. MK Enigma's back in the defense.
Yeah, just being able to sort of thread the needle on that one there. Again, poor defense, but they've got that safety net. I can definitely see a lot of potential from the Steelers. They've just got to be careful of their positioning and essentially their movement into net on the defensive.
Yeah, MK very quickly again going back into contention. Quanzi out to the midfield, play up. Triss there to receive the pass! What a shot from him! Such a tough angle to hit!
I'm noting it down, Triss. I see you there coming off the backboard just to be able to get the little touch in. No one was expecting that. Not even, like,
Oh man. That again, I'm stunned by Triss and Co. And now they're really starting to pick up the pace here for the MK Enigmas. They had a bit of an awkward start out there, but all on the backboard here for Evade. Cynical will try and come up again. Good challenge again from the Steelers side as they try and go on towards the target. Light Leaves is actually credited with a shot. And Quanzi gets close to the back line. It's Cynical and Triss with Evade here. Off to the corner. Evade with a second touch. Light Leaves should be able to defend against that one. Cynical just falling back once again. Quanzi into the center line. Triss challenging over towards that corner again. Cynical with a bounce back, and it will take it into the box itself. Light Leaves should be able to tee that one off one more time. A couple of demos coming through as well to try to steal the Steelers sort of players here, eh? Even then the shot's very inaccurate, very far wide of the net at the moment, Bacon.
Yeah, and they've got to be a little bit careful of that. They can't just throw it out wide because they've got to be near enough picture perfect. I want to see a few more like run-ups and shadow plays going onto that net and essentially force the ball past, because we know that just good shots are not enough to beat out the Enigmas.
60 seconds remaining. Enigmas only lead by 1. Certainly a lot of breathing room, but Triss puts another banger into the net. 3-1, and now they're starting to look like the team that won all those months ago at Insomnia 65.
Yeah, that, you said it, too much breathing room essentially just handed to Triss right there. It wasn't the fastest play at all, but I mean, if we know these lads are going to score that, the Steelers should know that. T-side really need to...
Fade.
They know they'll go for those.
I said he's been a little bit inconsistent, but his highest highs certainly beat out his lowest lows as Light Leafs comes forward. 30 seconds left on the clock. The ball goes back over to the orange backboard. Played in again for the MK Enigmas, but at this point, so long as they stop any goals coming in from the Steelers, this should be a game for them. Light Leafs did a great dribble up, but a good challenge from Triss all the same. 13 seconds left. Cynical and Co. Quanzi leaving it to Fingers. Taking back to the centre line. Light Leafs just can't come forward far enough. Cynical just going to leave that ball for Evade to come forward. Go for a shot of his own. Right, that's on target. That's completely
Nice
open.
shot.
Credit to Steelers going for the massive commitment to try and get the second goal in, but in the end it cost them more as MK Enigmas secure game 1 at 4-1 on the board.
And realistically, a really solid confidence performance, and for me a big turnaround, because I talk about that confident performance. For the first minute it was not for the Enigmas, was it? You saw a lot of whiffs come out and they did well, because that sort of scenario can really get in your head and could have cost the Enigmas the game, if not the series, if it was to persist. Instead they just took it, slowed it down a little bit because the Steelers were not playing up to pace really, and so they were able to slow it down and just try and be more accurate. It paid off for them.
Absolutely, you know, a very, very nice adjustment there from the MK Enigmas as well, because they were on the back foot initially in that matchup. You know, they were actually down by a goal at one point, but the fact that they were able to eventually realise, okay, probably should stop whiffing as many shots as we really have been, and eventually going in for the game itself. Very confident stuff posted up by the Enigmas in the end. Now they control here to try and contest all the same. It's game 2. With Cynical, a lot of control, trying to flick it past the first man. It is taken over to the corner, play up one more time, and Evade given all the room to breathe with a second touch not going to be taken. Quanzi will be able to defend against him. Demar Cynical as well. And Fingers, that's no big miscoordination from there. You don't like to see that from the Steelers.
No, you don't.
Is that all the insight you've got for us there,
I don't want to talk about that really. I want to forget about it. I'm pretty sure the Steelers do as well. Definitely doing good on that little attack there from Quanzi. Light Leafs pulling on some nice pressure. Third man, a little slow to it, but Ferguson will get onto it. And Steelers, they do have glimmers of hope to them, which is great to see. It's just got to be the snappier follow-ups than that.
Ooh, couple of players out there getting close towards the line here of the Steelers, but the second touches, the accurate plays, not going as well as they really wanted it to. MK Enigmas again allowed the breakaway chances. Ferguson gets a bit of a shot back in. A very awkward ball that Quanti could take control of, but fortunately for them, it will be Evade coming in to try and take that away from any setup from the Steelers side. Plenty of boosts as well available for the Steelers. They try and keep the pressure going. It has been the majority of pressure going their way. Counter-attack off that backboard. Quanzi should be able to take it away all the same. Evade now off the backboard of his own right. Light Leafs comes forward and booms it back downfield. And both Cynical and Triss much more reserved in this matchup from the Enigmas here.
Yeah, and Steelers aren't punishing that. You just saw Light Leafs there just clear the ball downfield, and instead he had the option of Kwanzi on his right. Instead, he should have just really passed that up to him and worked downfield as a unit. Double commit coming out there as well. You can see that Steelers got to work on that communication. Those double commits and missed opportunities can't be a thing against a team as good as the Enigmas.
Nice infield pass attempt there from Kwanzi. Pass from Cynical to Triss. Oh, that's beautiful. That is like textbook Rocket League infield there from the MK Enigmas, as once again Triss scores an absolute boomer down the field.
Yeah, it's pretty much just textbook from the Enigmas at this point. And again, it was very similar to the Triss's goal in Game 1. However, this time more up to pace. It wasn't slow, and you can see Enigmas now will start ramping it up, especially with a nice little lift like that from Triss. And the follow-up there... Evade. Just take a bow on that one.
This is the MK Enigmas that will win the championship if they can play it. If they can play it like this, then this is the Enigmas that should be able to take the trophy again. 2-0. Very stylistic stuff coming out from Evade and Triss. Triss even with the setup on that one, so he's not even a one-trick pony here. He's proven it to his own right. Plays out, going on to the backboard once again from the Steelers squad.
Triss, for me, is actually the best utility player on the Enigmas. He should be just used as that playmaker role like we described earlier, where essentially it all comes down to Cynical and Evade being a bit show-offish. If anything, Evade and Cynical will swap, whatever you want to say, between being in attack and defense. Cynical, I prefer being up in attack, personally, because Evade is really good on the defensive. And all Triss has to do is just work between the two, sort of be a middleman between attack and defense.
Cynical and Evade, and up and over. Ferguson down to Light Leaves. Triss able to get out of that corner and again clear it back over to the MK Enigmas. Big misses coming in from Ferguson. Again, allows Triss a bit of exploitation maneuver. Kwanzi in, all three players in the net. They're bumping each other out of the way with MK Enigmas players also getting in. Good 50-50s from him indeed. He is how they're pretty confident defensive. If he failed though, that would have been a goal in for the MK Enigmas once again. And Steelers getting the clears out to the green half, but unable to follow suit with them. Evade, in fact, is going to be allowed a shot that is going to be defended by Kwanzi once again. Now Triss up and over. Good 50-50 into one man. Evade will come bouncing back over Triss. Oh, another great redirect as well. As Evade gets a demo and Light Leaves takes it up high. Second touch in control past Cynical. Good 50-50, but not enough to go towards the green box.
Yeah, and now they're right on the defensive. Cynical was going to take that off the backboard. Good clearance coming out from Kwanzi, though. Really important for me, actually. Enigmas, I was expecting to be a lot more aggressive into that, so strange that they weren't. But you've got to be careful, because the Enigmas will want to get control of that midfield line. Where was everyone on that play?
Unfortunately for them, it's off the crossbar, so it's not too much of a scare. Now Cynical here with a breakaway. Once again, double commit from Ferguson and Kwanzi. Will go to Evade and Triss there. Passing back to Evade. 1-2-1-2 on the passing plays. Light Leaves comes forward, trying to see if he can beat out Cynical. Will beat him in terms of the demo, but is unable to get that ball back into the green half. So again, they contest towards the box. 30 seconds for Steelers to score 2 at this stage. Tee up from Kwanzi, back into the centre, mid-centre in fact. The Cynical can take that midfield control, put it right back to the orange half once again. They're back to square one for the Steelers and running out of time to get these 2 goals in. Light Leaves takes it up. Kwanzi is trying to respond here. Players a very good reactive teammate, but again, it's blocked off by Cynical. So much room given to MK Enigmas, so passive on their line. It's enough to score them, potentially even a third. No, Light Leaves is going to defend against it, but those 2 still count for the Enigmas sign as the timer hits 0. Cynical keeps it up, but should be able to get it on the floor eventually whenever he wants to at this stage. There you go. MK Enigmas 2-0 here on match point. It's looking really good for them. Game 1 started a little bit awkwardly, but now it's starting to look much better.
If anything, to me, the Enigmas look relaxed in that game. Like they were just playing at 80% of their capabilities. They were just calm throughout the whole of it. They were not pushed, and their attacks, I wouldn't say look sloppy, but just not full effort. We saw one good passing play come out between Evade and Triss, but then that was really it. So Steelers right now, I want to see just maybe Ferguson go into super aggressive mode, just go and demo them, just try and aggravate them, try and come up with something that really might trigger the Enigmas, if anything. We know, there was quite a funny thing going on the stage. Crafters told me that their plan was to just go in and demo Triss because he can get tilted. Maybe that should be a strat to pull out here.
I mean, that certainly is something that kind of... Okay. I was going to say that it's certainly something that's proven true throughout history, but Steelers might be able to force the issue by putting that ball right on the line. MK Enigmas unable to get that first goal in. That's certainly going to look like it's all cynical. Couldn't bump the last man out of defense. The defense just holds its own for the Steelers side as Ferguson tries to burn out. Yeah, I was going to say he's doing a little donuts on the pitch, but that's not what you want to be doing at the moment here. This isn't a racing game. This is Rocket League.
I was going to say he must have been watching something like Initial D or Tokyo Drift or something because I like it. It's a bit of style. You don't get that like many options.
But it doesn't really contribute anything.
That's it, because it does nothing realistically in those scenarios. The best time to pull out that sort of slide.
Oh, cynical.
Unlucky. That slide is sort of whilst landing, like awkwardly, to keep that momentum and then do another jump. It's a skill that you don't get to see too often at this level, but I definitely know the Enigmas have the capability to pull it out if the opportunity is needed. But yeah, the power slide isn't as utilised these days as it once was.
Certainly the team play being utilised by the MK Enigmas at the moment. They have a quite a little bit of control above the Steelers. Another couple of good goals or close balls coming in towards those goals. Cynical with a third man. Slightly is able to defend against it. Ferguson comes forward. Evade. Oh, no! What was that? You talked about Ferguson coming forward trying to force the issue. A 50-50 demo play, sacrificing his car, but getting a goal in return.
F's for respect in chat because Ferguson has definitely earned it. 1-0 for the Steelers now. Enigmas. Oh, is this going to be nearly the response and a half? Ferguson's launched that ball downfield. Quanti going to be able to follow up, but Evade is on the line. Massive overcommitment coming out from the Steelers, but Ferguson really stepping up and is able to cover that.
Just about here for the Steelers side. A couple of very good breakaways now. Lightly is trying to get it out to Quanzi. A bit far forward on that pass. He was challenged by an Enigmas player, so pressure was certainly on him. And Steelers are going to get broken into their own half with. But good contestions and cut-offs at the midfield. Not allowing MK Enigmas to go much further with this pressure. Backball plays that Ferguson just can't quite reach. Quanzi, however, knowing that the best play at this stage is to keep it inside that corner. Keep that pressure in the green half. Try to go towards that back line, steal the boost away, allow nothing for the MK Enigmas, and eventually find a shot in potentially a goal. If not, just run this timer down because you've got half a game to defend against one goal lead, excuse me. It's not easy, but it's not impossible either.
I so badly want to see the boost scenario for each of these players because it's been a strange one. Steelers have sort of been trying to steal the boost of their opponents whenever they can, but they know that they've got to be faster to the ball, so they're just going straight for it. The ball chasing is really working in this moment, and on the opposite end, the Enigmas are making sure to use as little as can be because they know how much it means.
Evade off the backboard, looking for his second touch, but it's too high. Perfectly placed as well for the man. Good challenges coming in from the Steelers on the offensive on the other half of the field. Triss gets that 50-50 in, and Cynical can take it out to Evade. Now he's got a second chance of redemption. Bounce out from the corner. Cynical has enough boost to go for that, but I don't think he realised. Triss comes in, second touch off the backboard again, leaving up for Cynical to go in with a strike. And they're all holding the midfield control of them. They're committing, and they still, even though Evade comes in sneaky, unable to get the shot in as Lightly is there for the defensive, and now Evade and Trish try break away. Evade with another good challenge. It's Cynical up high off the backboard. Lightly's committing to that one, going to go forward again and challenge on Trish, who gets it underneath him, but Quanzi's there for the defense hold once again.
Yeah, and now you're going to see Enigmas try and go for even more passing plays because the defense from Steelers is good. And Enigmas are just going straight to net. They need to pass it up like this. Triss going off to the corner. That'll bounce down. It's not what he wanted, and you can see Evade looking for the pass up.
Nice. There you go. Baiting in the whole defensive to the left-hand side as well for the Steelers. And Evade recognizing exactly what he was doing, beating out that last man. And you put a lot of risk when you commit like that there. And the Steelers, I don't think they recognized how much risk they really put. No one in the center line as well. Open net, and MK Enigmas A lead lost for the majority of that game. They're going to try and get it back for the Steelers on the back of the kickoff, but so far it is a 1-1 scoreline.
The thing is, though, at the same time, the Enigmas weren't really respecting the Steelers, you know? They weren't playing at their full potential. They were just going for a lot of solo plays, and you could see they were forced to play at full power, which just means Steelers are doing something right and playing up to a level where the Enigmas cannot slack off. And that is definitely not slacking off there.
2-1, 2-0 as well on the series board. The Steelers.
What a pass.
Yeah, what a pass indeed. And again, 25 seconds for the MK Enigmas before they are able to beat the Steelers at this point in time. It's got to be a good kickoff. It's got to be a good offensive. And Ferguson will start things off on the right foot, but there is no follow-up there from the Steelers, so it breaks right back into the orange half of Vade. Oh, look at his pace. Look at his control. It's Cynical a bit too far forward, though. Passing back over to Triss. If he can take his own challenge, it will be 50-50'd out by the Steelers side. And the breakaway for Kwanzi now needs to go well. 10 seconds on the clock. They need a goal in right now here, the Steelers. Play off the backboard. Kwanzi in to receive. Play out to the centre line, and the mid-centre in particular. And Kwanzi will leave that ball to bounce. Cynical there to contest. 2 players going up for the Steelers, though. And that big miscommunication will cost them big time. It's MK Enigmas winning the 3rd game of the best of 5 in 3-0 fashion. They're going to take another dominant series on their board.
Like we said, that was the expected result, really. The 3-0. The 3-1 is what the Steelers would be going in gunning for. Anything more than that, like I said, was just gravy. But the MK Enigmas, clearly the strongest team in the whole of the Blanc Arena Clash. And you could see it there. Like I said, for a lot of it, not playing to their full potential.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like MK Enigmas. I think it's sort of what we were saying earlier. You know, what you were mentioning about the whole like they're not really respecting the Steelers to a certain extent. And I guess you have a right to do that if you are the champions at the moment. You know, it's fair play to them in that respect.
For me, in those cases, like just go for highlight worthy plays. Like, don't just go for the solo plays. Don't.
Well, they scored plenty. I'll tell you that for free. Yeah. You know. So there you go. Good stuff being shown up there by the MK Enigmas, and they will be taking the series at 3-0 fashion at this stage, Bacon. And we have one more match that we want to show you at this stage. But before we get there, we're going to have to go to a 10-minute break. But when we come back to that one, it will be the Norfolk Nighthawks taking on the Bristol Smugglers. The match that we thought was going to be second on Stream, Bacon, is now coming up in a moment.
We rescheduled it, we move it third, so
yep.
We're fine. We still get to see it. I'm happy for that.
Absolutely, indeed, yes. It should be a fun one as well, obviously. You know, not quite as one-sided, I don't think, as the MK Enigmas match. I mean, you know, probably more along the lines of the first match of the day. But we'll find out how one-sided or one close it would be before in a couple of moments' time. After this short break, again, it will be the Norfolk Nighthawks versus the Bristol Smugglers.
slap to your side, a push on my foolish pride. I'm out of my mind. I'm down from the endless high. Don't know who's losing, who's bruising, who's choosing to stick it through. So we fight with fire. Still on a wire. We fight with fire. Burn with your light. You plead with the tears that cry. Don't know who's losing, who's bruising, who's choosing to stick it through. So we fight with fire. Still on a wire.
I am so cold as well.
Yeah, welcome to the icy cold Belong Arena Clash studio, where we're getting into our final match of the day here between the Norfolk Nighthawks and the Bristol Smugglers. I'm the Eternal J. Joining me is Coldy Tyler. Digital
Really? Really?
The pun came into my head. I felt like I had to make it. There you go. Right. Our final match of the day, again, will be the Norfolk Nighthawks versus the Bristol. You're so disappointed in me.
Yeah, I am. It's not the first time.
Literally, you are sick to death of hearing me.
I am, because... I don't want to continue.
we saw the Smugglers last week. A lot of potential showed up by that side. Here against the Norfolk Nighthawks, though. Do you have any info on these guys?
Not really. We didn't get to see them last season, unfortunately. We do know they didn't do too bad last season. They were in that Nottingham group, which was very closely tied for that second spot. Unfortunately, it didn't go to them. Aaron Spinks, a fairly decent player from what I can, find out in my research, but we should be seeing Zegamis and Muro playing alongside Sick to Death. This is another team that has got the chance to make it on out of their group. This time around 4 teams making it out of the group. 2 GCs and a Champ 1. It's not the start of a joke, but it could be the start of a good team.
Could well be indeed, yes. We'll have to see whether they can prove themselves again against the Bristol Smugglers, who have had a couple seasons now in this one. Satnav has obviously been a guy that we kind of highlighted being a pretty decent player of his own right. I'm excited to see what they've been able to improve on, because that Satnav Ryan combo really seemed like it worked last week.
Yeah, definitely that's the combo that has to really step it on up last season. The Bristol Smugglers had a glimmer of hope, and they were a team where we were looking at coming into this season that they could step it on up and improve, but from what we saw last week, it weren't too pretty, was it?
No, I believe they faced up against the Enigmas, right? Yeah, well, that's going to happen if you're against the Enigmas, so, just fair play to them on that respect for losing that one out.
Last week it was against the Pirates, a different Pirate side from last week, but can you remember with Lion?
Yes,
Lion Senior?
That is true.
It weren't a good time.
I mean, there's still some pretty good sides they have to face off against, and the Bristol side have obviously got a lot of work to be doing right here, right now, and we'll see whether they can get it done as we're about ready to jump into our first game of the series, our final series of the night between the Norfolk Nighthawks and the Bristol Smugglers. Let's kick things off. Let's jump straight in. The purple side, it will be the Nighthawks. We're underwater.
I ain't clapping, boy.
Bristol Smugglers in with the initial offensive here. Working out of that corner, it's Ryan and Satnav off the backboard looking for a centre line shot, and the third man will not be there to take it. Zegamis will still be able to hold the defence regardless, so safety more than anything else here for the Nighthawks. So they control to the backboard, playing in towards the box. Ryan should be able to defend against it, and no trouble for him as a result. Takes it out of the centre line as well, alongside Satnav starting to make his way inland here.
A lot of feeding out from both sides. They're just trying to figure a way towards net, not really wanting to dedicate too much to it just yet. Zegamis, I'm liking this initial little confidence that he's got in those dribble plays with the flicks as well. I'm definitely putting my money on the Nighthawks for this one, Jay.
So far looking pretty decent at the moment, the clears are coming through freaking fast. Decent defensive held out counter-attack. Zegamis going to leave that for
Where's the closing down from Smugglers?
Not quite as confident in that line as we wanted it to. Just a decent 50-50. Zorto gets a good touch of his own right, but it will be Ryan, the man to defend against, take it to that sideboard. You can see the pressure really mounting for the Nighthawks side here in the red half. Taken out to that midfield on the part of Satnav. Zegamis gets beaten out by another 100 boost. Should get picked up. Ryan goes in, strikes back down. Double commit there on the defense, but it should clear the ball.
Oh, nice little pop out to centre there. Double commits, not so pretty, but it gets the job done on the ball downfield. You're definitely noticing with Nighthawks, both Zortia and Zegamis, they're just doing brilliant work together.
Yeah, very confident stuff being posted up by those two individuals as well. Nighthawks looking particularly good at this stage here. They have got a bit of pressure against them. Ryan actually shoots towards the top end of the net and gets that first goal in here for the Smugglers. Very nicely done.
Was not expecting this one so much, just straight from the side, catching everyone off guard. Still a bit confused why he was there, but what do I know? Maybe he's got a crystal ball or something.
Indeed, he may well have. And Nighthawks trying to see if they can see into the future and hope that the future holds a goal for them. Certainly they're getting close. Backboard plays at a 1-2-1, but Zegamis left to recover this as the ball does not go on target. The challenge is looking good from the Smugglers as Satnav goes up, and the Norfolk side, whole pass was Zortia. Over to the back ball once again. Ryan should be able to defend against it. And they have a little bit of control. Not a lot of boost, unfortunately, for him. But Zegami still goes up to point blank and dunks it right in. First on the ball for the Nighthawks. They're now at evens.
Yeah, very nice setup here by Zortia to be able to just essentially get off the bat ball. A little whiff from Satnav and Zegamis just closing that in point blank. You're not going to miss that, are you?
No, absolutely not. Not a very easy shot to whiff, to be honest. It's the kind of one that it's like, if you get the touch in, you're probably going to be able to get the goal. So there you go. First on the ball, Zegamis continuing to aggress. May even set up Zortia here, but he's got to control out to the midfield once again with the Nighthawks side going back off the back ball. Zegamis again there with the defensive, and the Bristol boy is forced to rotate back a little bit further out here. Zorti here with control, good strike down, Ryan there to defend against it. It's nice and open, but it bounces off the post from the second strike. Zegamis going to try and come in with a third, and a light touch will be enough. And the Nighthawks with unrelenting pressure, great shooting accuracy, and a lead now above the Smugglers.
Yeah, unfortunate there by the last Norwich player. We're not too sure whether it's sick of Aaron's Spinks on this one. Unfortunately, that's just the case with the blonde counts, you know. They're set up at the station.
I also love one of the Norfolk guys have a Norwich account currently logged in right now.
Isn't Norwich in Norfolk?
Is it?
In Norwich. I'm going to quickly go do some geography research.
It is. Okay.
Yeah, I was there going, like, I'm pretty sure, but it's that...
Then why is it called the Norfolk Nighthawks with the Norwich in the Norwich Arena? I don't
Because
get it.
Norfolk Nighthawks sounds better than Norwich Nighthawks, don't they?
Oh dear. 2-1 on the board. Someone, I'm gonna write a formal letter. I'm gonna write a formal letter to someone from the Norfolk Nighthawks and
Dear
say change
Mr. Norfolk Nighthawks, please
Yes.
change to Mr. Norwich Nighthawks.
No, not even that. Just change the account name to belong Norwich 03 or Norfolk 03. Shouldn't take too long. It takes 2 seconds to do it in Steam, so you know, should work.
It could be Tim Foyle hat time because there's going to be a Norwich, another
Ooh.
Norwich Belong Arena.
Oh,
and it'll
bacon.
be Norwich Knights.
Norwich Knights.
That wouldn't get confusing at all.
Norfolk
now, would it?
Nighthawks and the Norwich Knights. Well, then they can just get some new Steam accounts for that. But
Yeah.
I digress. It's Norfolk Nighthawks here with the breakaway. Bristol trying to see if they can hold the defensive together. It's Ryan in it with the overall. Stop looking at me like that. Zegamis, midfield control, passing out to a teammate. Again to the back ball, and Norfolk Nighthawks will go to 100 boost picked up as Zorti now into the corner, works out still the 100 from the back line. The Smugglers gets in behind them and almost forces the own goal from the Smugglers side.
Yeah, interesting here from Nighthawks as well. Only going in with like solo attacks for those setups. They're not communicating with each other well. They're high-level players and they're really capable. You can see it. But essentially, they're just leaving 2 players back in defense. They're happy with a 2-1 win at this point.
Ryan demo out, 20 seconds remaining. Satnav in off the corner to the backboard. Bristol right now struggling to break out of the midfield. 10 seconds remain. Ryan tries to control here. Zorti shoots and it will be defended against by Ryan. As Zegamis bounces up, continues to control, dribble up again, close, but Zorti out of position. I don't think it matters too much for the Nighthawks. They'll be happy to take that victory at 2-1 on the board there. Bacon not half bad, and again, I love the pressure that they posted up on that Norfolk side.
My only question now is Zorti or Zortia?
I'm going to go Zorti because TEA is like, you know, the drink tea.
Yeah, but
You
I just like saying Tia.
You can say tea if you want to. I'm going to
Am I
say
allowed to
Zorti.
say Zortia? We should probably
Right,
join
well,
forces
I'm
on one.
gonna
We'll go for tea.
protest
We'll
on
go for
tea.
tea. We'll go for tea. I'll let you win this one.
Do you know what else will be winning? Norfolk will be winning their first
Yep.
game. Very nice and confident
Let
there.
me
Again, I
note that
love
one down.
the aggression. I love that pressure. I loved how they were able just to keep the Bristol side in their own half most of the time.
The thing is, though, I can see a lot more aggression coming out from the Nighthawks here, Jay, where essentially they'll be able to just send that second man on in. For the last 2 minutes, they were just committed to keeping 2 back in defense. I reckon now they'll take that and they'll look even more killer.
A nice fake from Zegamis. Zorti could not quite go in for the final strike though. Bouncing off that post, a little bit close for comfort though on the part of the Smugglers. We'll have the control here into the purple half now as they dribble it up. Good play from Satnav. The pass up. He tries to receive it, but no. Ryan tees it off, trying to get a second shot in against the Norfolk Nighthawks side. And Zegamis is able to clear it back over to that corner. 100 degrees can get recovered by Satnav. He's on up not to. Instead, he's got plenty to carry it so far as the midfield. But Zorti's going to have a lot stolen away from the Bristol Smugglers side. Play off to the backboard. Zegamis. Oh, the double touch! 1-0 for the Nighthawks. Very well played.
Yeah, just a really confident play here coming out from Zegamis. Could see the sort of confuddlement that was in that left-hand corner for the Smugglers and just capitalised.
1-0. Nicely played there. Bristol outperformed and outpaced by one man here from the Nighthawks side. As Ryan tried to find some sort of way to work in here, it's Zegamis and Zorti again with control,
Really?
but beaten out all the same. The Smugglers will hold the defensive for the moment. It's Zorti now up and over to the midfield as Zegamis controls round the town. He'll take it, blocked off by one, trying to bump him out of the way. See by Zorti as well. The Smugglers just can't get out of this box. And the last matchup, they couldn't even get out of their own half, and this time it's so far as the net. Can't break away. Tough times coming through. Into the midfield they'll go. Zegamis with a bit of a dribble backboard play. Zorti a little bit far forward in this one. Double quit on the offensive. It won't be enough to score the goal, but it will be enough to keep Bristol again suppressed.
Yeah, and you got to think so many of these touches, putting the ball high is just still. They've locked down this midfield line, Norfolk, right now. Double commit there, and oh, both players, they're not greedy. It's like, you take it, no, you take it. It doesn't work in Rocket League. That actually leads to a little bit of a befuddlement like that.
Well, there's an old saying from my end saying when two gentlemen get to the door, no one gets through the door. That's exactly what happened there for the Norfolk Nighthawks. Play down towards the box. Oh, and that's going in for Zegamis. Not pretty. 2-0 for the Nighthawks. Once again, the Smugglers thought that they had that clear confidence, but Zegamis says, well, no.
Aye. That's a big yikes with the own goal. They'll have to put that behind them right now, the Smugglers. They've got to just go, look, what happens, happens. We've now just got to look to sort of stage ourselves up in attack. Let's go for two-man attacks. Let's get these passing plays going and not double commit like that. You can see they're really worried. They know the Nighthawks are a stronger team,
Open
but
net.
they are not invincible. Good capitalization from Ryan.
Yeah, two players bumping each other out of the way, and Nighthawks, as you say, you know, they're good, but they're not immortal, as Bristol Smugglers just proved right there with the first on the board here in this game. Here at halftime as well, still plenty of breathing room for them to recover at. Norfolk Nighthawks need to find a way back in as they do tee it past one of the initial offenders here. That's Satnav forced back as the players to the backboard come through. Zegamis here to try and dunk down right there on top of the crossbar. Zorti in with another good 50-50. Satnav has got to take that away and will be able to take it high off the mark. It did look like he was going in for a shot against his own net though. Zorti goes up, flicks it up for Zegamis. Oh, the bump plays! He didn't even need his teammates! 3-1 in the Nighthawks, still looking impressive.
That catch by Zortia is what is most impressive for me. Just to stop the ball there and then be able to flick it and then just the gusto to charge on down the man in net. I reckon that is game 2 done with a goal like that.
Oh, still 2 minutes to go at this stage. I don't want to count it out just yet. Smugglers could very easily turn the situation around. All comes down to the drop of a dime. Satnav into the box now, takes it away from that box, takes the ball out to the midfield, and Zorti still goes back close to the target. That will be wide of the shot. Ryan off the sideboard into the midfield once again. Satnav already forced back on the defensive line, plays in from the first up. Zorti here to dunk down Ryan. Okay, well now I think game 2 is over. As the Bristol Smugglers just crumble in the defense, it's not looking pretty for them.
Yeah, no solid rotations on there. Just panic. The jumping across the net. What I'd like to see from the Smugglers now is just to accept defeat in this game 2 anyway, and go into game 3 and start looking to really connect with each other. Get talking, lads. Start forming up who's going to be your first prong of attack, who would then follow on second. How do you maneuver around this pitch?
Oh,
Start getting down to basics.
I thought for a second that 50-50 was going to go well for the Nighthawks all the same. But no. Smugglers. Oh, okay.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is not a thing that should ever happen. And, well, Norfolk have got egg on their face right now.
Oh dear. That is that's yeah.
I mean, they've got a large enough lead to not worry about that, but again,
That's the thing though. It's mistakes like that that gives Bristol Smugglers the openings that it might be
2
able.
goals now is possible for them, you know?
Absolutely, that's the thing right here. Here comes the attack coming in from Ryan, in fact, to that backboard. Zorti's got to get off there and get it away. Second touch in towards that corner, and possibly this third one past the midfield line. He does get it there, alongside support coming through from the Nighthawks side, but Smugglers quickly clearing back. Zegamis here alongside Bin. Takes that up towards Zorti's position. Ryan with a miss. He's got to leave it. Satnav collides with the wall. That's an open net. No! He gets the defensive on
save.
Zorti's shot. Still Zegamis here with a dunk down opportunity. He misses that ball going way too high. But Zorti still in with a chance. Still lurking in the box. And still getting the 15 for the Nighthawks. Now, game 2 is over.
Yeah, nice little half rotation there. He saw the whiff come out and was just there like, well, if you're not going to hit that ball, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to hit it and I'm going to score. 5-2 in favour to the Nighthawks. Reclaimed that goal they threw away earlier. 30 seconds left on the clock, of course, and again, just got to start linking up and communicating to each other. And I think for a lot of it, it's down to confidence. Just feel like you're going to get plays going.
Play out from the Nighthawks side. Going to keep that one as far away from the net as possible, because that's all they need to do. 10 seconds remaining. Zegamis might even get another good goal.
And he will.
Lovely.
That's
Lovely,
nice.
lovely from the Nighthawks side. That's a 2-0 series for them at match point. The Smugglers unfortunately seem like they've met their match again. The unrelenting pressure, I'm loving the kind of stuff that Zegamis and Zorti are throwing up at the moment. And Nighthawks look so impressive.
Yeah, and you saw Phil sorry. Oh, I thought that was going to go straight in there.
I thought that was the
I was
ultimate
like, not
caster's
another
curse right there.
throwback, no.
I thought that was the ultimate caster's curse. They look impressive and then get scored on an open net off the back of the kickoff.
This is a decent rundown field by Ryan. Unfortunately, time will run out with Nighthawks taking game 2. But it's just small little tweaks that need to be made by the Smugglers right now. And like I say, it's just linking up with each other.
Yeah.
Get those passes going. Like, for me, this is the team that I want to see turn up tomorrow night whilst the Overwatch lads are playing that. I just have a scrim session. You know, just play ranked together as a trio and start working on those team plays.
Do you know what? That might not even be that bad of an idea for a lot of these teams at the moment. If they want to like sort of like scrim in their own little local areas, maybe they scrim with the B teams, perhaps. That'd be another decent shout.
That
you
is
know?
it.
Maybe something they want to take into account for going forward at the moment. But the Smugglers certainly want to be thinking about doing their own little scrimming at the moment, because it's not going well. You know, it's not 100% perfect at the moment. And I guess you could also say the same thing for the other side of the court as well with the Norfolk Nighthawks. You know, a couple of mistakes coming out from those boys that haven't always led to the best of times. And we'll see whether they can continue with the 3-0. They're certainly on for it. I certainly believe they can, but Ryan almost given the dunk down of a lifetime. Satnav bounce up, trying to look for a second recovery play, and now it's Norfolk with the breakaway. Challenging coming through on Ryan. He does get that 50-50 back over to the purple half, and it's Zorti with the overall control of the backline for now.
Jay, I've got an idea right now. Oh, we're talking about scrimmings going into the centre. How about looking at the opposite group? You know, the teams you're not going to be able to play at this immediate section. Just go into the Blong Arena Discord, go into that Rocket League like general chat, and just ask for scrims there. Play against teams that you don't have to face, so you're not giving away any of your tactics straight away, you know, and use that as your chance to grow.
Not even a bad idea, honestly. Like Bacon coming out with the 300 IQ advice here.
Sometimes I have them.
If anyone there from the Arena Clash or even the Arena Clash contenders are thinking about this, certainly that would be a decent idea for you all. Take a look into what this man is saying. There is a Discord available for you all. There is a backboard available for the likes of the Nighthawks. It's Zegamis there with the defense, and Zorti just barely holding the defensive of his own right. Taken away by Satnav as he goes over.
There is not enough pressure coming out from the Smugglers there. Zortia was able to hit his own backboard, get back to him, and then clear it downfield. There was no pressure being applied by the Smugglers on that.
Second touch coming through, back over to the center line. T up once again, and Zegamis goes in for the shot. Double commit! That's right on the line! What? How many players had to go past that ball to put it past? That was absolutely ridiculous!
So uncomfortable. That ball lingered on the line for a bit too long. Nighthawks get the first goal. You know what? I'm writing that down as a goal of the week because I just don't think.
No,
I've
that
ever
does
seen
not
one like
deserve
that.
goal
I'm
of the
writing
week.
it down,
No,
boy.
no.
You cannot change my mind.
Zorti in with a strike. That could end up goal of the week. That one is a better goal of the week contender than that last one, right, Bacon?
I'm not writing this one down.
2-0 for the Norfolk Nighthawks as they go up once again in this series and in this matchup. Right now, the Bristol Smugglers looking like they are most certainly on the ropes.
I'm the one that picks the game. Goal of the week, sorry. So I have the power.
I'm gonna do everything I can to get the veto process going here because again, that was just pure ridiculousness. Backboard open, nicely done. 3-0. The Nighthawks looking very confident to take this series in undefeated fashion.
Yeah, and that right there, even though it was a double commit, is both players seeing the over commit come out from the Smugglers who just wanted to run at the ball and get an opportunist moment on it, but not going to happen. A good counter coming out from the Nighthawks. 3-0, and you said it, Jay, confidence. That is the crucial thing for the Nighthawks here, where they're believing in themselves. They're going for plays they might not, try that often, and they're just working, so it's just good, and it's sort of like a big morale boost, and we know in Rocket League, morale is a good, say, 40% of the game, because if you're playing, like, confidently, you're going to win.
2.5 minutes into this one. It's complete control for the Nighthawks once again. Zorti to the midfield. Demos coming out from the Bristol boys, though. Trying to get a bit more contact going out here. Certainly that aggression might work out. They've opened up the back line to a certain extent, and Ryan does try and go forward with a strike. Into the midfield, he gets played out. Zorti now with his own control. Play out to his teammate. Nice demo. Zegamis.
Okay, that is the goal of the week. I'm calling it right now because this was everything team-based. The layoff to Norwich 8 there. The demo in net from Zegamis to set that up as well. That is what I love to see from these underdog teams coming on into it. And that is the type of play that will get them through to the playoffs.
That probably secures the deal there for the Nighthawks. Just wish we saw more of those three-man team plays throughout the course of Rocket League in general, let alone from the Norfolk Nighthawks. Again, that's the kind of thing that scrims can fix. If you can just boost up your teammate to play in line with the rest of the plan, essentially. The Nighthawks could do stuff like that basically for every single goal. They've got the talent here. A very, I guess you could say a diamond in the rough here from the Nighthawks, because came into this one not really knowing what they were made of, not really knowing what they could do. And I think we've found some really legit talents right now, you know. Zorti and Zegamis. I'm looking forward to seeing them. I think they possibly could be a top 4 in the group, potentially going into the playoffs. Whether they'll make a dark horse run to the finals, that's something to be seen later on down the road. But for now, they look particularly impressive here against the Bristol Smugglers. They almost get a 5th goal in for this one, rebounding off the post and the Smugglers defense. Goes back to the purple half, but it's not really too much of a worry right now.
Oh, Norwich 8 just blocked out by Bristol 17. Weird names. I don't get player tags sometimes.
I think that's been.
You don't say. Satnav, that's a good infield pass, but no! Ryan just going high. Ouch, that's got to feel bad. Like, when they're actually getting good setup plays going Smugglers, they're just off the mark.
What a play! 40 seconds on
He's
the clock.
a little bit over-enthusiastic.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. You know, just a little bit.
Only a smidge.
30 seconds remaining on the clock. Satnav. Yes, I just said that. Satnav playing that off to the backboards.
The sass.
And Zegamis breaking away to the other side backboard here to the centre line. It will be Zorti to score another one, because of course it is. 5-0 for the Norfolk Nighthawks.
Yes, Zorti has just been the player of the day, essentially. He has been a strong, crucial part to this Nighthawks side. Don't get me wrong, pairing him with Zegamis, this is a duo act. Like I was saying it earlier, they probably came into the Blong Arena as a duo, as two friends, looking for a third. And they've got a good combo going on here. 5-0 in game 3. Going to be a 3-0 sweep is a strong, strong performance. That making it 6-0. I am looking forward to see what this team can develop into.
This was baseball. You'd call that knocking it out of the park. Truly from the Nighthawks. Not only in that goal, not only in this game, but throughout this entire series. This is a team to watch, I want to say, Bacon. I want to see more of the Nighthawks in the coming weeks because they have looked particularly impressive.
7-0?
7-0. Don't go there.
No, it ain't gonna happen.
It's not gonna
I
happen.
can
If the
accept
Norfolk Nighthawks are smart, they will take this kickoff and make sure we do not see the Brazil.
They could throw it.
No,
But it's not.
No,
I don't feel it
no,
from this team.
No, I'm just saying no right now. There
That's
you
it.
go.
They're not
There you
throwing
go.
it.
There you go.
No Brazils. I'm fine with that because I actually, in this case, prefer it because the
Oh
shutout
no.
win.
There you go.
Don't play with my heart like that. But yeah, the shutout win 3-0 is absolutely ludicrous coming out from the Nighthawks there.
Yeah.
Like I said, the Smugglers for me actually feel this is harsh but worse this season. Because we saw them last season. I thought there was a lot of promise in Ryan and Satnavs, but for me, coming into this season, they're just not linking up. They've got to use each other a little bit more. They're friends. Act like it.
I think the jury's still out for me on the Smugglers for this season. You know, I still think they've got the potential because
It's
like,
only week 2.
It's only
out of
week 2
5
at the end of the day.
group
You know? But like
stages,
the thing that I want to highlight is the Nighthawks is just impressive run. Like that was. Again, like such a confident style of game. I'm not just talking about in comparison to what the Bristol Smugglers were able to do, but just in general the pressure that they had above the Smugglers. Like these are capable players we're talking about. Satnav and Ryan have been here for a season. They've already been around the town in that respect. The way they were just getting shut down though, like the Nighthawks, that is something again to behold. And again, if they can bring that to the fold against some of the bigger teams as well, I think we might be seeing another team that could make a dark horse run.
Yeah, and after that, I can understand how they're 4-0 so far in league play. Don't get me wrong, the Enigmas still have, I think they're 3-0 after the day, and T-Size Steelers 2-1, but Norfolk Nighthawks, who knows? Coming out as an unexpected second seed could be crazy, considering I've just had a look. Kingston Harriers didn't have a great day today. They're going into week 3, 2-2. I was not expecting that. Oh,
That's a tie score from the Cone Man as well. Gonna have to get on Discord and berate him later, but we'll have to talk about that more next week because we are done for the day. 3 matches this week, Bacon. I think there's filled with a lot of action, a lot of interesting times. I liked it a lot, actually. Yeah, this was a lot of fun, and I'm going to be looking forward to next week as well. We should have 3 more matches ready to go for you all in week 3's league play action.
Yeah, we begged for that third match.
Oh,
we,
yeah.
Jay,
Oh,
essentially.
yeah.
Straight from season 1, we were there like, we want third match. It finally comes in week 2, and I can't wait to get even more Rocket League, because more Rocket League is always better Rocket League.
And yes, you can tune into even more Rocket League next week at the same time as the same place on Tuesday night. For tomorrow, though, we have the Overwatch Arena Clash. And, of course, we love those guys. We love we love the Overwatch boys. And girls, of course, from last season. So, you know, there's plenty to be seen here in the Arena Clash in general over the course of the week. So, yeah, make sure you tune in again. That's 6:30 p.m. BST and GMT when that switches over next week. And, of course, here live Tuesday nights at 6:30 p.m. GMT. So, till that point, though, we're going to be heading out for the night. I've got a train to catch. So have you, Bacon.
Yeah.
So we're going to get out of here. Thank you very much for joining us here. I've been the Eternal J. Joining me has been Digital Bacon. And we'll see you back here next week for even more of the Arena Clash action.